Sullivan, and I'm one of the 3 teachers that gets to work with this wonderful group of students each day. Miss Gamble will be up on stage first, and Mrs. Oheim, you'll meet in just a few minutes. Tonight, we are so excited that you came here for their very first band concert. And silence your cell phones. Yes, please keep videotaping, please keep taking pictures. Just do it silently so that you don't interrupt our hard work tonight. Tonight, we are celebrating and showing off just how much all of these students have learned in only 23 classes. These students have learned how to put their instrument together, which is challenging, really challenging. How to hold their instruments, how to make sound on their instruments, how to control the sound on their instruments, how to read sheet music, how to follow a conductor, and how to blend their sounds into one big giant band class that you see on stage right now. And as audience members, we really want your help. Please show them all the love and support that you can with your applause after each piece of music. Really let them feel the love so that they are encouraged and want to keep practicing. Tonight, we are going to be playing a few very short selections, but please don't be fooled. There are so many skills put into each of these numbers, and they are very complicated skills, and they are stacking and stacking upon one another. So though they may be short, we are very, very proud of the students here tonight. And now, I believe it is time for Miss Gamble to conduct their very first number. Number 1, Time for Band. Thank you so much. On stage today, you see about 85 different students. And starting band with that many students after you hand them noisemakers can be challenging. So we invited several musical professionals from our area to come and help us get a beginner band boot camp. And for 2 weeks, these professionals took away the students into separate classrooms and really injected them with a lot of content that we wouldn't have been able to do in such a large classroom. So I'd like to give a very special thank you to Mr. Trey Bradshaw, Mrs. Mary Steck, Miss Elizabeth Waldberger, Mr. Dennis Gamble, Mr. Matt Sullivan, and Mr. Kent Arnsbarger for their time and expertise. Band boot camp, we finally put them all together and combined their skills into one big 85-person band class. The students in this group have to multitask like crazy. They are holding instruments, they are controlling their breathing, they are forming embouchures, which is all the muscles in their faces, reading sheet music, and now that they're in a band class, now they're learning to follow a conductor with silent cues. They learned what to do when a conductor stands on a podium and how to follow all of the different motions. So for this number, we'd like to draw your attention to their eyes, and hopefully you see their eyes darting back and forth between their sheet music and the conductor. This is number 2, The Fun Continues. mentioned before, we have 3 wonderful band teachers who teach this group of students every single day. However, we also have a wonderful cadet teacher. Miss Sierra Query is a senior at LaPorte High School, and she is part of the cadet teaching program. This program allows her to shadow a teacher each day and to apply those skills and decide if that career path might be a good fit for her. Sierra is a very accomplished horn player. She plays in the high school wind ensemble, which is the top group at the high school. And we are so pleased with all the work and how eager she has been to just jump in and learn about all of these instruments and about teaching students. Would you please help welcome to the stage Miss Sierra Query.
The double reed component of the oboe and bassoon, while all of our woodwind instruments create sound through our air vibrating something on the instrument, these instruments use 2 pieces of bamboo that are carefully aligned together and then vibrate back and forth with the air provided by the student. And now the oboes and bassoons perform a breath of fresh air. Your cheering is on point tonight. Like with any school work, sport, hobby, or activity, putting in the time and effort to improve as an individual is important. Hopefully, your student has brought their instrument home a few times since the beginning of school, and they've taken it out of the case to play it. If not, we understand, but from here on out, we would like them to take their instruments home and play it at home at least one time per week. More times than that are, of course, welcome, but our expectation is that one time per week. If right now you are thinking, well, I was not in band or orchestra, I'm not sure how I can help my student, we have some brainstormed ideas for you. You can help your student find an appropriate time and place to practice within your home. You can ask them questions about what they're working on and what they're trying to accomplish in their practice session. You could let them teach you about it, learn something from them. They, I bet, will be very excited to share their new knowledge with you. And of course, praise them for their efforts. Hearing that from you goes a long way in their brain. So first, we ask them to hold the instrument correctly. Then we ask them to use their face, tongue, and hand muscles that they normally don't use. And then we told them they have to breathe in a certain way. And now, it's time for math class in band class. We learned first about whole notes and how they create 4 counts of sound, a whole rest and how it creates 4 counts of silence, then half of that, which is then a half note, which creates 2 counts of sound and a half rest, 2 counts of silence, a quarter note, quarter of a whole, creates 1 count of silence, or 1 count of sound, and a quarter rest creates 1 count of silence. We use these fractions to count the rhythms and create the timing of the music. And this is yet another element going on in your student's brain while they are performing. Listen for the notes worth 1 count, as well as how each student starts each note with their tongue, except the percussion in the back row, because that would be weird. Here is a quarter's worth.
Half of our group. This is our woodwind and percussion. We have still the brass section, and they performed just an hour ago, and there are 70 approximately kids in there. So we're very excited about these numbers, But our next concert, we want to be all together. So obviously, I don't think we could put another kid on this stage if we wanted to. So it will be held at the high school auditorium on December 1st at 7 p.m. And so we invite you all to come to that. And then our next selection that we will play is a song the kids all know and love, Hot Cross Buns, directed by Miss Sullivan. Constructed of brass, and yet it actually is not a brass instrument. It is a member of the Woodwind family, and this is because it uses a vibrating single reed to make it sound. So next up, we would like to spotlight the saxophones. Our concert black formal attire will be very fancy. Band students should wear all black to this concert, and this means a plain black shirt that covers the shoulders, long black pants, no capri length. Skirts or dresses would be fine. We just ask that the girls would wear black leggings or black tights, and black shoes with black socks or black tights is also appropriate. Although this is a dress-up occasion, we are more excited about the kids coming and performing than what they are wearing. And so we are very excited to combine all of them and have us look as a full unit. Our next song is Au Clair de la Lune. It's a French song of the 18th century, and it translates to By the Light of the Moon. We are going to first spotlight the clarinets. instruments, and so they are also going to show off their expertise on this song.
As we prepare for our final selection of the night, thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting these young, budding musicians. Without you, this wouldn't be possible, and we really appreciate all of your time and effort and contributions to helping make this a success for them. After the concert, the students will carefully exit, and they will put away all of their items in the band room. They will then move to meet you out in that kind of commons area by the cafeteria. And again, they will move to you, so thank you in advance for meeting them over there. These students are so awesome, and we can't wait to see what they're going to do next and how they're going to continue to grow as musicians. And we're so happy that they chose to be in band class this year. And so, for our final selection, we have another common tune that you may know, featuring all of these young musicians. In the book, it's called Merrily We Roll Along, but it also could be called A Little Lamb That Mary Had, or Mary Had a Little Lamb. Thank you again so much for coming, and welcome Miss Sullivan back to the stage for A Little Lamb That Mary Had a Little Lamb.